My boss's daughter said, "You're worth nothing," firing me. Her dad flew back, screaming, "You fired who?" Our lead investor called an emergency meeting. He just pointed to my name on their funding document. He looked at the board and asked quietly, "So, do you want to pay the $45 million fine or just hand over the company?" So, this happened 3 weeks ago, and I'm still processing it. I've been with TechCore Systems for 14 years. Started as a junior analyst, worked my way up to senior operations director. I literally helped build this company from 20 employees in a cramped office to over 500 people across 3 states. The founder, Richard Palmer, was an amazing boss, smart, fair, actually listened to people. But last year, he decided to semi-retire and handed the CEO position to his daughter, Madison. She was 26, fresh out of business school, and had exactly 0 experience running anything except her Instagram account. First thing Madison did was hire her college friends. Her new COO was this guy named Brett, who wore designer suits and called everyone chief. Within months, the culture went from collaborative to toxic. But I kept my head down and did my job. Then last Tuesday, Madison called me into the office. Brett was there with 2 interns, all smirking like they knew something I didn't. Madison didn't even look up from her phone. "Jessica, we're streamlining, cutting legacy costs. You've been here since like the dinosaur age, right?" She slid a folder across the desk. "Here's your severance. Security will escort you out in 10 minutes. I just stood there, calm, because here's what Madison didn't know. 12 years ago, when we raised our Series B funding, I was in those negotiations. The lead investor, Horizon Capital, wanted protection clauses. Their lawyer and I spent weeks drafting an agreement that protected both sides. One clause specifically named me as essential operational personnel. It meant if I was terminated without cause, the investor could trigger penalty clauses. I never told anyone because it seemed like overkill at the time, just lawyers being paranoid. But there it was, framed behind Madison's desk, the original funding document with my signature on it. She had no idea what she was looking at. I took my severance packet and left. Didn't argue, didn't make a scene, went home, poured wine, and called my lawyer. "Activate the clause," I said. "You're sure?" He asked. "Do it." Within 24 hours, everything exploded. Richard flew back from his vacation in Greece, screaming. Apparently, Madison hadn't told him she was firing half the senior staff, including me. He tried calling me 17 times. I didn't answer. Then Horizon Capital's managing partner, David Chen, called an emergency board meeting. I wasn't there, but my lawyer was, and he told me everything. David walked in, didn't sit down, just placed the funding document on the table and pointed to my name. "Someone want to explain why Jessica Morgan is no longer with the company?" he asked quietly. Madison started stammering about efficiency and modernization. David held up his hand. "This document names Miss Morgan as protected personnel. Her termination without investor approval triggers Clause 19. That's a $45 million penalty, payable within 72 hours. The room went silent. The CFO pulled up their accounts and went pale. "We can't pay that. We're $28 million short, even if we liquidate everything." David nodded. "Then, per the agreement, Horizon Capital assumes majority control of TechCore, effective immediately." Madison tried to backtrack, offering to rehire me at triple salary. David said I'd already declined. I had. He called me that morning. I told him I'd retired. Here's the kicker. David offered me a consulting position with Horizon to oversee TechCore's transition. Basically, I'm now advising the people who own the company that just fired me. Richard called me yesterday, begging me to come back. I told him I'm enjoying my hiking trip and wished him luck. This morning, I got an email. Madison has been transitioned to an advisory role, aka fired. Brett's gone, and they're installing new leadership. My lawyer sent me a photo. They mounted a plaque outside the boardroom. Morgan Advisory Group, Strategic Oversight. I never stepped foot back in that building. Didn't need to.